One of the financial objectives of Nigeria as a country is to attain the $1 trillion economy in the nearest future. Currently, Nigeria has about $362.81 billion as GDP as of 2023. Though in the first quarter of the year 2024, the GDP increased to about 2.9%, and in subsequent quarters, it has been a decrease and a decline in that order. Now, this nearest future goal that we have, we don't know how near that nearest future is, whether it is goal 2050 or 2060 or even upwards. We don't know how near that nearest future is, but we are looking forward to when we are going to attain that height. However, in order to attain this our financial goal, there are some things that need to be put into consideration. One of such things is the exchange rate. Now, there are a lot of abnormalities that is very unfavorable to the Nigerian economy that is going on in the exchange rate, especially the dollar to naira exchange rate, with regards to the bureau de change. And unless specific measures are taken in order to curtail these abnormalities, it will be difficult for us to attain our financial goals. But that is not what we are going to be talking about right now. Another thing that we need to look into if you want to achieve this financial objective is to look at our tax system, our taxing system. There are lots of loopholes that is embedded in our current taxes system, and the multiplicity of taxes and multiplicity of legislation make it difficult, complicated, and more complex to actually look out for these loopholes and deal with them. And while it is benefiting the rich, it is impoverishing the poor. And that is why the bill being sponsored by the government of the day, the tax reform bill, is a commendable move. However, that is also not what we are going to be talking about now. The third thing that needs to be considered with regards to achieving our financial objective is our cash system in Nigeria. The cash system of Nigeria has moved beyond being frustrating. It is difficult for the average Nigerian to have access to cash, especially from the bank. When you go to most banks, the highest that you can receive is 10,000 naira. Even some banks will give you a maximum of 5,000 naira, with the usual cliche that there is no cash circulating in the economy. However, we see a lot of POS outlets, points of sales outlets, littered all across every street, all across every corner, from pole to pole in the Nigerian cities. And then you're asking yourself, where do these POS get their cash from? This is a question that we need to ask. Where do these POS get their cash from? That even if you need as much as 100,000, as much as 200,000, there are some POS outlets that can give it to you right there and then. But you go to the bank where you actually save and keep your money, you can't get more than 10,000 naira for the average Nigerians. And this is the point that I want to talk about now. We have seen instances where some of the officials working in the banks own POS outlets, and instead of making cash available in the ATM machines, they take out this cash and then give it to whoever that is managing the POS outlet for them, and they make money from that. And this is what the Central Bank of Nigeria needs to look into: the availability of cash in banks. It has moved beyond frustration, like I said earlier. Now, recently, as of the 29th of November this year, the CBN released a circular telling Nigerians that they should report any difficulty that they encounter in trying to withdraw cash from ATM machines. That any difficulty that they encounter, difficulties such as non-availability of cash, that it should be reported. And then they provided numbers and emails that you can actually reach out to lay this your complaint. Now, this numbers is across the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT 37. Now, while that is a commendable move, which we appreciate the CBN for, but you know the Nigeria that we live in, that it is one thing for a step to be taken, a move to be taken, an initiative to be given, and it's another thing for the execution and the enforceability of that very initiative. Now, while the CBN has made a move, provide them the email and the phone numbers that you can call to lay your complaint in any case of difficulty in accessing cash in any bank ATM. What measures will the CBN take further after this complaint is actually relayed to them? Because in Nigeria, we are used to failed promises, failed initiatives. And so the CBN needs to take this a bit further to make sure that the complaints that they receive, that it is actually monitored, and then an action is taken out against those very banks. Because if at all we want to achieve this $1 trillion economy in the nearest future, these measures need to be critically considered. These measures need to be critically looked into, because the POS have literally taken over the function of the banks in Nigeria. You want to make a deposit, you go to the POS. You want to make a withdrawal or a transfer, you use the POS. Then what is the essence of the banks that we have in Nigeria? They are just like monuments now. Yes, the banks we have are just like monuments. The actual functions of the banks is now being carried out by the POS. So these things need to be considered. The banking system of Nigeria is actually falling apart, and if the banking system of Nigeria, which is the financial hub, the financial store of Nigeria, is falling apart, what becomes of Nigeria as a nation? What becomes of Nigeria? What becomes of the economy of Nigeria? So it's more than just setting a goal for $1 trillion economy in the nearest future, unless that this future is an indefinite one. But if it's to be achieved in the nearest future, then those points that has been highlighted needs to be looked into, especially the case of cash flow in Nigeria. The difficulty in accessing cash is causing a lot of difficulty with regards to transaction. Some businesses only accept cash. So if businesses are going to thrive, and it's only the economy of the nation is going to make an improvement, then this factor needs to be considered by the CBN. It's not just enough to provide an initiative. There should be a follow-up to every complaint that the Nigerians make with regards to this. Nigerians need the assurance that something is being done, and it's being done effectively in the favor of the people, in the favor of the economy of Nigeria. Well, guys, I want to hear your thoughts about these that you've just highlighted in the comment section. What do you actually think about all of this? I'll be interested to hear and to know your thoughts about these issues, and also what you think that the CBN can do better in order to alleviate this frustration that has become the experience of every average Nigerians in Nigeria. So, guys, I'll be in the comment section waiting for your thoughts, and do not forget to like and share this particular video to sensitize and enlighten others. So until I see you next time, take care of yourself.